Here we go, baby. I'm going to help you be successful. That's my job. Believe it. I've been doing this 27 years. That's a fact. Disney ESPN ain't going to help you because none of them know the right side. Trust me, they know nothing. Let's kick their ass. They don't know the damn thing about handicap. And I'm coming after you, Disney. I'm the guru. I am Sportsguru.vegas. That name was earned by picking winners. That's how it works. Make no mistake, I'm here to win. Absolutely, we're here to win. Welcome, gurus. Sports Guru Vegas live coming to you from Las Vegas, Nevada, the greatest city in the world. And again, it's a privilege to be back with you guys today. Yesterday we went 1-2. The hockey let us down again. It's a game we needed to cover that leg, and we're being conservative, as I shared with you guys yesterday. In hockey, but we'll try to pick our spots, continue to do that. And any of you gurus out there who like hockey, feel free to post your games here or any games, But maybe you can help the group here win in hockey, right? It's been nuts. The other game split. Boise got there, get a good home game. So, we always like our home positions in that spot. And we lost South Carolina. They got murdered in Alabama. But overall, our college split. We were hoping the hockey would support it, and it couldn't yesterday. But today we're just going with the NBA and college basketball. There is no hockey, which is better, right? Jesus, business. Hockey. My brother and I grew up watching the Kings, right? So it wasn't a big part of our lives. I think if I'd have grown up back east, I'd have probably played hockey and I would have liked it. I know I would have liked it. You get to beat the shit out of people. How can that be bad? You smash them up. There's no head to head in that sport, I don't believe, right? I would not have any teeth as we speak today if I played. That's a fact. But I would have enjoyed it. I could tell. I'm the kind of person, now you wouldn't tell by looking at me, but growing up, I loved to be very active. I played all the sports, very active. So, anyway, gurus, Sports Guru Vegas. We have 2 round robins today, so we're going to get into those quicker after this intro of the show. And we'll get on those and we'll get them going. We actually have a 3-teamer in college basketball, and then we're doing a 4-team. We have 2 in the NBA and 2 in college basketball. So hopefully we bounce back from yesterday's 1 and 2. And again, that was one of them hockey, but again, we have to own that. So just to cover a few things, the playoffs. So I'm on First Takes. And now I'm actually following all of the morning shows. I'm accumulating them as the days go by, and they send me little messages about what they're covering. And you guys all know this if you follow Twitter X or any of the IG or any of this. You know that these morning shows, they put out different text messages to try and get people to watch, going over different topics that each of us might be interested. And so I've started to comment back to them. And then I put my hashtag Sportsguru.vegas. That's the name of the show. So, I'm trying to get my name out there. Again, I have never done this, gurus. Before I started this show, I never bothered with any of this stuff. I'm an older fashioned. I'm in my late 50s, so I wake up, I turn on the cable, and there's whatever sports shows on, and I'll just watch that. I don't really get into to it on my phone, but that's the direction we're all heading. Obviously, that's why I have this opportunity to do this show. Of course, it's not a network show. It's not financed by networks yet. If it was, we'd have several million followers. So it takes time, though, gurus. And again, I want to thank the new Twitter followers, the new TikTok followers. Every day I'm putting these pics on both of those social media platforms. That's the way I'm trying to accumulate followers as well, gurus. In addition, I go out when I can to the strip and I like to meet people and they subscribe that way. But I think both ways are effective. I enjoy both. I'm learning this new way. Basically, all it is doing the same thing I did on Facebook with my friends and just using these network shows as my new friends, right? And they do ask interesting questions. They don't have anything to do with winning and sports betting. And again, I've been sharing that, gurus, with you guys from the very beginning. We're into our 8th week here, about lose track, but that's been talked about since the beginning. They don't offer, so they're asking me questions. One of them, should the Titans coach be back next year? Now, what the hell does that have to do with all the college and NBA games that we have to bet today? It has nothing to do with that. So, therefore, it may be an interesting question to answer, and all of our opinions are worthless, right? They are, if you think about it. Because the Titans are going to, if the GM wants this coach fired, he's gone, period. See you later. It doesn't matter what I say, Stephen A., you, or anybody else. So, who gives a shit is what I, now, from a perspective as a participant in sports betting and watching the NFL, well, then I do have an opinion. So what? Again, who cares? And really, what does it matter? So in the future, as my show develops, I'll send out these these short questions on on TikTok, Twitter, and IG eventually, and and then I'll tell them, I'll give you guys, well, who do you like today? Right? Or who do you have in hockey? Here's who our best bet in college basketball. That's what I'm going to be putting out there. Because what is, and again, I'm not trying to distract, and I do want viewers from other that aren't just betting sports. That part of it, the show will have to evolve. It won't just be me, obviously. Eventually, we'll have a co-host here, and it will evolve. And gurus, I want to let you know, I love sports not just because I love to bet it, but that's number one. I love it because it is newsworthy. There are interesting, newsworthy topics to talk about. And if I had another hour, I would be. I'd put a half hour for that. I don't even go over any news. I very rarely, unless it pertains to our games that we bet or I release that I bet. Then I talk about this stuff. I have no, if you look at this, we have 2 round robins I have to release today. I really, by the time I'm done with that, it's going to be half the show will be over. I have to have some sort of intro. Every damn show has that. And I have to. Hey, first of all, I'll tell you why. I work on these games for 2 hours with Mark, an hour and a half, 2 hours average. And by the time I've done that, I kind of don't want to talk about sports, if you want to know the truth. And that's not totally true. What I mean by that is my brain has been going, right? Now, keep in mind, I do this every day, but I do love it, gurus. But just understand, playing with my dog, cooking breakfast, that I like that. That takes me away from this. All right. Yeah, but then when life gets too boring, you got to have this all over again. So that's how we do it. That's life, right? And I'm blessed that I can do that. I have my dog here. My mom's here with me. My dog's always here, but my mom's visiting. And Mark's on his way as we speak. He's driving from the Bay Area, and he'll be out here. Try and get him on the show tomorrow. May not be tomorrow, but for sure by Friday he'll be here. We'll get him out here. We'll get you guys to see him. So Mark and I have an interesting relationship, and you'll probably find that out in the next couple of weeks. Anyway, gurus, I'd like to get into the games where we started. We only had 2 days in a row. We had 1 round robin each day, but I don't. Again, I think, and real quick, gurus, I believe we won over the weekend. We've had a very good run we are on, and I think you have to celebrate that a little bit. You have to, because I do. And as you know, if you're new to the show, this is about accountability, our show. That means when we don't win, I have to be accountable just as much as when we do win. But it's nice to go on a nice streak like we were on and lasted all last week into the weekend and into Monday. And that was nice. And, yesterday we finally had a losing day. And that's typical. So we're not, it's not like we haven't had that. But just for the record, the show opener is to also celebrate winning, celebrate wins, set up the day, go over where we're at. And then we get straight into the games, and those are important. That's why we're here. But this is a show / info, whatever you want to call it. But I think this is necessary. We don't have this on Disney, ESPN, or Fox. They don't have a show like this. This is almost like a Kramer doing sports betting. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I think it's important, and we need this. And as we go, the show will expand. We've already had that discussion. And with that being said, let's go into the first round robin. And now we have college basketball, which again, we did split yesterday, but we are still very hot in college. And you can go back, again, if you're new gurus to the show, go back on my Twitter and TikTok, and you can see all the plays I've been releasing, because after this show, I release all these plays on TikTok, Twitter, for people who can't watch the show, who can't make the show for whatever reason. And that's why I do that. But for this particular day, we have Ole Miss at home. Now, Ole Miss, these are all conference games, gurus. And if you notice, since the conference has been starting, we've been doing much better, right? Now, we were winning in college before the conference games, but it wasn't by a lot, because there's a lot of juice. You're looking at matchups that are, more difficult to read. The value might not be there, and that goes year to year. What the value means is what you pay for each bet. Excuse me. Value is what you pay for each bet. So the object to earning money betting sports, right? I've been doing this over 25 years, helping people win money in sports, is you want to pay the least amount of money for the highest return on your investment, right? That's standard in any business. No matter if you're in real estate, you want to buy low, sell high, right? That's pretty normal. And if you're in the sports betting, you want to get a good number, because that will determine your return on your investment, gurus. So what I do is the years of experience is not looking at just how to win, it's how to win to maximize the profits. So we always want to bring that number down as low as possible. And the way my strategy works is in this round robin, you bet 3 games at a time. You go 2-1, you get your money back. Plus, you make a profit. So let's say we have, let's say we have Ole Miss, Georgia, and Troy today. If you look at the value of these 3 bets, you'll notice Troy and Georgia are small, what we call small favorites. We call them small minuses, small favorites. So you're not really laying about $1.40 average tops. And then you mix that with Ole Miss, who's +3 at $1.10. And if you go 2-1, you're going to make a little money. That's basically how we've structured this particular bet. And we like this one a little bit more because they're all at home today. And we'll go over that in a second, because our other game's a 4-teamer, our other round robin, and that's a little more complicated. But for this particular bet, it's simple with round robins. Each team is a leg, and on a 3-teamer, you have to bet the same amount. This is for the new viewers, gurus. That's what it's for. You lay the same amount. So if you have 100 away, say you want to bet 100 per leg, you would bet 100 on Ole Miss, 100 on Georgia, 100 on Troy. You go 2-1, you make a little money. Instead of having to go 3-0 if you bet a parlay. Now, the parlay is going to pay you much better odds. But again, I've been doing this a long time. It's hard to hit 3 teams. So we're very successful the last week and change. We have been, and that's good. But we go through ups and downs. That's life, right? Now we have to go through more ups and downs, and we started that process, Gurus, and we need to continue that. And today I like this particular three teams, Mark, and I like more. It's Ole Miss, so they're getting 3 at home. This is a conference game. They're playing Florida. And then we have Georgia, and they're at home, and they're playing Arkansas and another SEC game. So we're working the SEC today. And this is a lot about matchups. So we're using our best value. We're trying to get you the best matchup, best value is what we need to accomplish. Not only for you, for us. So that's why I started the show. I would be doing this for myself anyway, gurus. Now I can just help and share this with you as well. So anyway, with that being said, the last game is Troy. And Troy, we've had success with this year. If you look back at our bets, we've hit every one of them, I believe. And what that tells me is, in those cases, Troy is reasonable. It's reasonable, Troy, because we've already won with them. They're still giving us good value, and we're going to bet it because we bet good bets with good value. That's what we look for. And so we have Troy. So to reiterate, this is all conference games now. We have Ole Miss is getting 3 at home. And Ole Miss, I believe, has only lost 1 game all year. They've had a very their schedule hasn't been real strong, but they've gotten it done. They had 1 loss, and that was, I believe, their last conference game. Yeah. So good season, though, for Ole Miss. And they're going to play hard tonight. And so will Florida, right? They're traditionally a solid team. But we're going to take the points in that. And then Georgia's playing Arkansas. So we'll see if they're ready for this team. Arkansas has owned them a little bit. So let's see what Georgia can do today against them. And then Troy, we've been solid with. We've been winning with Troy. These teams tend to win, and when they're at home. So let's see if Troy can get there on the money. And Gurus, just to let you know, there are 3 seasons here. There's preseason, conference, and then there's postseason, which includes conference tournaments. So we have to be ready, and we have to know how to win in each of these situations, and we do. And that's why you're with me. And our show will be big, and it takes time, gurus. Yesterday, I was a little tired. This virus, as I've been sharing with the gurus, lasted 3 weeks. That's a long time to not feel well, but that is not unusual for guru. They usually last 2, and then the long haul kicks in after that. I don't know if you watch Como on News Nation. My mom likes him. So I've been watching it lately with her, and he actually had China virus when I did in 2020. He did his show out of his basement with this virus, and I remember it. That was before I got it. He got it a little earlier than me, but we both got it in 2020, and then I got it really bad. I had it worse than him. I almost had to be hospitalized a couple times. I had the paramedics here. It was a nightmare. I was wishing for death, and you don't ever want to be there, gurus. That's a bad place, and there's consequences for what happened there. And that's why I'm a supporter of the MAGA movement, because I don't like what happened. I think it was every way wrong, and we have to bounce back as a country from this. This has been devastating for a lot of us. So, and again, I do share a little bit about it, gurus, every day, because I don't mind that. Mainstream media is not talking about the hospitals that are filled up with these COVID patients. They're just not doing it. And why? It's an election year. They can't do it. So who does it? The guru does it. I'll tell you, because I know I follow all this shit. I do it because it's affected me in a very traumatic way. So let's get back to the games, gurus. This is why I'm doing this show. I love these games. They take me away from this insanity. They help me get into another place. And I happen to be good at looking at these games. So we're right back here. Ole Miss +3. Again, all conference games. Georgia on the money line. Troy on the money line. These are all home teams, gurus, and we like our positions. And I want to say on a macro level, are we due to keep winning at the level we have been? Probably not, gurus. So I wouldn't look to up your bets right now. because if you look at my strategy of handicapping is a certain language I follow. It's got a lot of specifics involved, and it takes a long time to go over this stuff to find the good situations. Um, but with that being said, when you look at investing, right, everything goes up and it comes down and it goes up. That's typical for every investor. So what you want to do is try and I believe and I know I told you a couple weeks ago that the secondary bets were going to start doing better. And I was right. What I mean by that, say for example, Ole Miss, right? We play them on the money line. They have a better chance of winning because we had struggled before on that particular bet. And that's all that meant. It's a general observation. That's what it is. And it's an indicator for me to stay with it. Definitely stay betting it if you've been losing, or you can even increase it a little bit. Now we've had a good run for a week and a half. I'd say, maintain what you've been betting. You'll be fine. Long season, gurus. We're going to have our chances to make more money. But and if we win, we're going to win anyway. A 3-team round robins, as you've been seeing, they get you back in real fast in the black. If you do things properly, they'll get us there. So I want to go from that one. We will revisit these round robins again, gurus. But I want to go to the next one. And we're going to head into the NBA where we're absolutely on fire. And, again, we're following a strategy, and that strategy has been very solid for us. Now, is it always solid? No. And I told you the NBA is a difficult sport to bet. It is. But who cares? If we're winning, we're winning, and we're winning at a high level. This isn't guessing here, folks, and you guys know that. There's a strategy here. Everyone knows that. I wouldn't be doing the show. And you can't win in college basketball and in the NBA as well as we've won the last 2 weeks, call it, unless you're an expert. It's a fact. Most people who win in one sport are losing in the other because they're not the same sports. Sure, it's a round ball, you throw it through a net, but they're not the same sports. And if you don't know that, you're never going to win. How's that sound? That's a fact, by the way, because I'm the one who lost, right? But I'm also the one who knows how to win. So, and we need to keep that going, gurus. But that being said, so what do we do? Do we increase our bets in the NBA today? I would not. Why would we? We've been winning. We're on fire. Do we not bet it? Absolutely not. We keep going. That's a fact. So we maintain the bets. Hit them again. Let's go. Pelicans money line. Green's still out for Washington. He's a nutcase. Right? He's a complete nutcase, Green. But do I respect him as a player? Absolutely. Great forward. He's got, I think, 4 rings with this team. Great player. Can shoot a little bit from the perimeter. Great rebounder, smart player, crazy player. That does get in the head of other players. It makes it harder to play against them. But hell, he's so fucked up now, he gets kicked out most of the games because he's a nutcase. I mean, that's the way it is. But again, he's still out. Warriors are not having that good of a season this year, right? They're not real hungry. They won it 2 years ago, and they weren't supposed to. Curry cares more about playing golf now than going to the damn arena to play basketball. However, he's a great player. He's a Hall of Fame player, greatest shooter of all time that I've ever seen. And for that reason, he's a tremendous player, but he's also a tremendous golfer. I think he's a scratch golfer. He might even be he might be a -1 now. But he's a very great athlete. You can just see the kid. He's very special. He's actually been training. I see he's getting more, his muscles are getting defined because he's working out. He's getting stronger to compete. When you get older, you got to work harder to maintain where you're at. And smart people know that. And I'm one of them, gurus. I'm 58. I'm working harder on these games now than I ever have, except when I first started. It took me years to learn how to not do as much, and that got me by. But now I have to do everything just to win, and that requires work, and that's okay. Work is good for us. Or not too much work, but enough work keeps you going, keeps your brain stimulated, makes you feel good, gives you something to work for, gurus. This is a passion here. We love this shit. Hell, when 4 o'clock comes, guess what I'm doing? I got the games on. I'm feeling good. Let's get to work. Let's have some fun. And we're having fun. I am. I'm having a great time, gurus. Thank you for that. This experience has been joyful, but I have to get money to pay for this joyful experience, right? I paid half of it to get it going. Now we got to reap benefit. It does take time, and my investors know that. Um, Utah is getting points at home. So we talked about the Pelicans, no Green, and we don't know if Zion's playing or not. He's a guy never he plays half the season. Who cares about him? I'd like to have him. He's a big, strong, athletic player, but who knows if he's playing ever? They can win without him, especially against the Warriors. Uh, Jazz, in fact, Utah's getting 7 at home. They're playing Denver, who's probably the best team in the West. And I don't think that's. I don't think that. I think they're still the best team. Yeah. The Clippers are a lot better, but they got hard and they'll choke in the playoffs. That's how it works. Utah is getting 7 against Denver, and it's a tough place to play. If you look at their home record, they're very good. So we're going to go with the Jazz today. They lost earlier to Denver, and that's a good amount of points for Utah. They can cover those points, and we like them. Are they going to be an in-game playoff team? It looks like it. Markkanen's their best player. They're only a couple games under 500. I think they're definitely going to be it looks like they're going to be a play-in team, and if the Lakers don't get their shit together, they won't be. But I know the Lakers are better. That's obvious. But Utah's trying to get there, and I think they will. They're very solid. I like their team. They're young, mixture of different players. So we're going to take them at home against the Nuggets. And the Nuggets are kind of cruising, right? They know they're going to the playoffs. They might they save themselves. The coach saves the players. The players might not be 100%. That always favors the dog, especially in this era we live in. That they don't always play. What makes it also interesting is the 3-point line, right? That makes the game more competitive for teams who aren't quite as good. So if you're quick and can shoot, you can beat anybody, any game. That never used to happen in the past. You had to have a big man. So we're talking about a long time ago. But the game's evolved, and as handicappers, we have to learn to evolve with it. And that's what Guru's done. So Utah +7. And again, the NBA, we haven't lost in so long, Gurus. It's been a long time. So we don't need to add more to these games. That'd be foolish. But we certainly are going to bet them. And now we go into the college basketball. We picked these two out. So we have 3 in college already. I shared those. We'll go back over those again. But I also picked out 2 more for this 4-teamer because I think they're both equally about the same in predictability and probabilities, if you want to use that word. Clemson's on the road against Virginia Tech, who's down this year. I think they're not that good. Clemson is. And I think they're going to prove that today. I think they win this game. They beat this team. One of these teams is going to be struggling in conference after this game. Who's it going to be? I think it's Virginia Tech. Now, obviously, whenever you play on the road in conference, it's difficult. It's a tough place to play. That's what makes the game so beautiful, Gurus. I've been betting college basketball longer than any of the sports, 30 years, because that's the first sport that was going when I came out here, and I threw myself into that with my brother, and we actually won. Yeah. It was easier back then. If I know what I knew now, we'd have done really very, very well because the lines were easier. They didn't have all this AG hooked up now and AI now. It was very liberal. One book, one casino, one book might have 3 points less than the other. They didn't trade communication as fast back then. And then it's grown since then. Now, forget it. There's still money though in finding differentials and spreads through these different casinos. I know a young man is doing it. We know each other. I promote my show, and I see him out there waiting for a phone call to go make a bet on an EV advantage. 10 cents is all they're looking for minimum. Anything better than that, they like that even more. So that's something you can do if you're experienced and you have a good bankroll. For me, it's too much work, and this is what I'm used to. This is what I know. So the next game, Gurus, is NC State. They're a home dog, and again, I keep these up here for you guys. They're getting 4 at home. Tough game, but it's an interstate game. They're playing North Carolina. That's going to be a bloody. That'll be a battle. I believe North Carolina is a better team, right? That's why this is on a separate bet. +4. They are a better team, probably. In North, they have at least 2 NBA players coming up. But we like this point value at home. It's a conference game for both teams. They're both trying to make their mark. NC State's solid. Home teams are solid in college basketball. So we're going to bet NC State in this game. And now I don't have money lines on here, Gurus, as far as betting the dogs as a money line. But again, I'm encouraging you to. In fact, I need to put that in there for this particular round robin because we have the Jazz and we have NC State, and they are both underdogs. So what does that mean? If I have, in this case, Gurus, there's 4 games. 2 of them I'm betting on the money line. Now, for me, that means a secondary bet. These are such small numbers that I'm not going to lay the points on the road. It's foolish. So I'll lay the money line on Clemson and the Pelicans. Now, on the Jazz and the NC State, I recommend betting the money line. They're both home teams, home dogs, and they both can win today. You're going to put 20% on that. Why not? You get a better value. So you hit that. Let's say we do 4 teams, which we will. 2 of them are favorites, 2 are dogs. Well, if both those dogs win, we have 2 bets. Guess what? Big day. Big day. We could lose this 3-teamer. We'd have a big day. And we don't ever know when that day is going to come, Gurus. That's one of the fascinating things about betting sports. We don't know if this 4-teamer is going to hit or if this 3. Now, probabilities say the 3-teamer is going to hit, not the 4. Of course, it's harder to hit it. But for this particular day, I couldn't tell you what's going to. I'm going to bet a little more on Troy, Georgia, and almost like 10% more because I do like those games better than these. But I'm going to bet them both. And if the one wins, I'll still make money. That's why money management's important. And on the contrary, if you put too much on the 4-teamer, because you have to bet more on the 4-team round robin than the 3. So when you add that extra 1 game, the 4th game, it multiplies your round robins by 3 more. So you actually have 3 more than a normal round robin. Therefore, you have to add another leg. So it costs you another leg. So it's double to bet. So where this one would cost you 100 away, 300, right, to bet Ole Miss, Georgia, Troy, it'll cost you 600 to bet the 4-teamer. So what do we do? That means we lower the 4-teamer, Gurus, so that we balance the money better. Because if you're laying 2-1 on your money for a more difficult bet, you're kind of going against yourself. So what I'm going to do, you're going to put less on this 4-teamer today because we like the 3 better anyway. And the 4 is going to pay much better odds. So we don't have to bet as much on the 4. I would say you could bet like 3/4. If not, that's too much. I would say half. Half of what you're going to bet on this 3-teamer. That's about the right ratio today. You can play with that, Gurus. If you like one game more than the others, you play. I'm your guide, Gurus. I say that every show. I'm your guide. That's what I'm here for, to help educate you. So these are the things you can do. On the 4-teamer, you bet less because the 3-teamer has a better chance of winning and it's cheaper to bet. It's half the amount. So bet half the amount on the 4-teamer. That makes sense, right, Gurus? You'll still make more money if the 4-teamer wins and you go 1 and 2 or 0 and 3 on the 3-teamer. And that's why we do the round robin. My job, Gurus, is to put the right teams on the right tickets. Like I did, I've done yes, Sunday I did that. We hit a 3-teamer and that round robin in basketball. And we lost. We went 2-1 with juice games in NFL and 1-2. So we lost in the NFL a little money, but we made much more on the 3-teamer than it made a profit. And then we hit 2 on Saturday round robins. We hit 1 on Friday at least. It's been on fire every day. And we're trying to make sure we keep our money management reasonable, Gurus. That's what we're doing. We have to keep it reasonable so that if you lose the 4-team, you don't want to lose double your money. That's foolish. Now, you'll make that if it wins, don't get me wrong, but we want to think about our investment, not as much on the return. That's an easy thing to remember. Think about the investment, not more than the return. That's the return draws you into not thinking rationally enough. Remember, I said that. I told a young man that in the book. I said, look at what you're winning and look at what you're investing, not what you're going to win. He was deciding whether to do a 3-team parlay or round robin. And I told him, do the round robin. And what happened? The games went 2-1. So instead of him losing $100, he made a little money going 2-1. And that's just how you do it. And you help people that way. That's what I'm here for. So mix these games with yours. I don't care what you do. Follow mine. You'll be okay. I've been saying that since day one, and I'm proving that. So that's all that matters. So let's go back to the first one. And you can see, Gurus, there's really not much time for anything else but an intro to the show and going over these games real fast. And that's most of the show. Then I do a closing thing on the show, and that's it. These guys have an hour, 2 hours to get it all done, and the topics they cover have nothing to do with winning. Disney, ESPN, and Fox. So we have Ole Miss getting 3. You can buy that off 3. I'm going to. You want 3.5 if you can. That helps you with it. You give up a 3 at the end of the game, you still win. Georgia, money line, and Troy. So you don't need to worry about it. You just bet the money line, Georgia and Troy. They're small numbers. There's your first 3-teamer. And we do like that more, Gurus. We like that 3-teamer more than this 4 I'm about to share. So I'm going to have you bet half the money on this 4-teamer as you did this 3-teamer I just showed. And you can bet a little more on the 3-teamer than that. Jazz +7 at home. They can beat Denver at home. They're very good at home. Pelicans, Moneyline Road. They have no green. We'll try and take advantage of that. College basketball. We have Clemson on the money line. They're at Virginia Tech, and NC State's a big interstate game with North Carolina, I believe. That should be a fun game to watch. And again, Gurus, I love watching these games. I get a lot of fulfillment out of watching them. Makes me feel good. So nobody commented today. Mark's traveling. I guess Kenny was happy with his picks. And again, Gurus, you're encouraged to comment every time I sign somebody up a new subscription. I always encourage them to comment. That's how the show, and if you look at it, the Twitter X, the producers running the shows on First Take, and the other ones I'm a follower on now. All of those shows are encouraging participation, Gurus. So they send out a short video off the show to their followers, and in case they're more interested in that topic, they'll go on for that topic. And I think that's smart business, right? Now, Guru isn't that sophisticated yet to do that. When my show's over, I send the games out to my viewers, right? On TikTok, Twitter, that takes me work. That takes time and work to do. But I have to do it. That's how I build the show. So they have it easier than Guru, but I'm more effective because I'm actually talking and giving you the plays for today, for goodness gracious. That's what I'm here for. Who gives a shit whether Tennessee keeps their coach or not? Maybe the Tennessee fans do. I feel for you. But guess what? I'm doing a show, and we're trying to win with the games today in basketball and NBA. I could give a shit. To close, just gurus, we do have the NFL playoffs. Mark and I are working on that. No need to rush that out. You wait, take your time. It's big games, and we'll have an opinion on those games. And we'll see. They're all kind of interesting. It's an interesting year this year, and we'll have to take our time with it. There's no hurry. Our bread and butter's in college basketball now, and the NBA for now. That's our bread and butter. We don't give a shit about the end. Yes, we have 4 games in the NFL. We try to go 3-1 if we have all 4, or 3-0 if we have 3. And that may very well be what we have. But we are going to go over that on Friday a little bit. On Saturday is a very big day. There are NFL games being played on Saturday. So we will talk about those on the Friday show with you gurus. And I want to get that discussion going. Mark will actually be here for that, probably that show. He'll be sitting right here. Be my first guest, and that's appropriate, gurus. So we'll have that discussion Friday. You have the games today. You know what to do. I will post them on TikTok, Twitter after this show. It takes me about a half hour to get. I haven't done anything hardly. I have to get ready for other things, but this is important. This is number one for me here. So this show and getting my games done. Those are the 2 most important things, and I just finished them now. So to close at these round robins, we're hot and so still in college and in the NBA until we go cold. And let's hope that never happens the rest of the year. I don't think it will. I'm better in conference games in college than I am before they start. So we have that to look forward to. And then we'll keep battling in the NBA. We've done very well. We're probably ahead now. It's very close if we're not. And we're going to grind it out. We have another half a season left. So let's get it done, Guru. Stay with Guru, right? I'm very experienced. I'm going to help you compete, and I'm going to help you win. That's a fact. I've already done that. That's my pledge to you. I made that before the show. I maintain it on a daily basis when I'm on the show. And my job is to deliver winning days to us. And I hope this is one here. These plays are they make the grade. So we have 2 grades, Mark and I. We have this grade that I release and the next grade that we bet smaller. And right now they're both winning. So we'll to see how that goes. The ones small have simply less layers than the ones I'm giving you. I'm giving you the top games we have, like I've done with all my clients in the past. And let's hope we have continued success. I believe we will. And I'll say this, and I can stand by this. We will compete all day long, and we should be in the black here by mid-season or earlier. We might be in the black by this weekend, and I mean stay in the black, gurus. I don't mean just visit it. Want to stay there. So not many handicappers talk like that, but I have to deliver. Can I guarantee it? No. I will guarantee you we're going to compete. We're going to work our ass off to help you win, gurus. That's what I'm going to do. And I'm the guru. That's my responsibility to you. So share if you like. Those chats today, but you're always welcome to chat on the show. I'd love to hear what you have to say, especially if you like hockey. Right? Throw us some bets, see what you can do. We have NBA college. We're doing well. But again, gurus, you can share about whatever sport you want and about anything you want. I talk about the virus and other stuff. It's my show, but go ahead. I'm here to listen. Anyway, I want you guys to come back tomorrow at noon. We shoot noon to 1 Monday through Friday live here in Las Vegas. That's a privilege. Mark will be here tomorrow, so he'll probably be on the show on Friday. You get a chance to meet him, and you'll see how we interact with one another. Sometimes it's pretty funny. All love though, gurus, all love. And I want to love, and I say I love you guys for being here today. I want to thank you, gurus, for being here. I have a core of viewers, and they're smart. Keep coming back. That's how it works. I'll keep coming back for you. That's my responsibility, and that's my obligation to you. So get me some subscribers, as you see. Share, comment, subscribe, like. We need all that stuff, gurus. My show needs to make 1 million followers, and I know I'm 58, but I'm going to get it done. The shorter time, the better it takes me. I'm doing what I can. Each day I try to do more, try to learn more to help me get there, gurus. Games come first. We took care of that. Let's put those bets in. Get your Disney ESPN app downloaded. Start betting your games, and let's have some fun, gurus. I want you to come back tomorrow for our show at noon, right? We're going to talk. We have a big board tomorrow. Thursday's a big board, and we got to get it done, gurus. So I look forward to this show tomorrow, reaching out to you. We'll talk about today. Let's have a good day today, gurus. Ride this streak in NBA college we've been riding. But just remember, we are going to come down a little bit from that and be prepared for that. But I think, hey, hopefully we'll have a good day today again, gurus. Thank you for being with me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great day. God bless.